walnuts, and sunflower seeds. Stellar camera work.
I've never seen that before. It's like the bearing welded itself together. That's cool.
Well, you never worked on a top alcohol funny car.
I don't think it's so much that the oil wasn't changed.
Where'd the bearing go?
Well, and man. Oh, perfect. Yeah. That spring's in the bottom. It's not moving. Yeah, it's because it's stuck in the oil.
Oh, let's go real quick. You did the. I didn't do it.
All right, welcome back to D188 Motorsports and Cheers. I'm Dave Loney, this is Brett Davis. We're celebrating. This 400 has been talked about for years. This thing sat in Brett's garage. It was in his garage when he bought the house.
Correct. I bought the house in '95. It's been sitting in the garage since '93. And I just, actually, I don't even think I've moved it more than once out of my way. It's always been in the corner.
Yeah.
Anyway, 400 small block, some kind of knock when it was parked. Not sure what.
We don't really know what's going to be underneath the skin on this thing, but we'll take you through that. We'll do a time lapse. Our buddy Dan Ellis, if you've watched any of the videos on the channel, the Borrowed Parts 57 Chevy, Brett bought his house from Dan, and this was Dan's engine, and he pulled it out of some truck or something.
Yeah, it was I believe it was in a long bed truck, 71 or something, and Dan put it in his, I think 70 C10. Did the Krylon rebuild and threw it in there, and it lasted like a month.
Yep.
And Dan ran his stuff a little bit hard back then, so I think that's where the knock probably comes from.
Yeah, so we don't know if it's a rod or a main or, you know, we don't know. So we're gonna find out, tear it apart, see what's in there. We do have a new used set of AFR aluminum heads, and I haven't really bought anything else for the engine, so it's gonna get probably a solid roller cam, and I don't know what pistons. I don't know if it's gonna need to be bored or what. So trying to do the budget build for this Buick. But Brett's given me this engine, so we're gonna see what's inside. We're gonna see how it runs. It's gonna be fun to get it running. There's a whole story behind it that goes back 32 plus years.
Yep.
So, all right, well, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some time lapse to see this little small block get whipped apart.
We were going to show that, I think it still has the oil in it from when it was put in the garage.
Let's see.
If I remember correctly.
Let's
That was kind of a joke.
I was gonna say 30-year old oil. It's probably better than the new.
It's got all the good stuff in it, I know that.
Yeah. Yep. The dinosaurs.
A little tar-like.
Yeah, it's a little thick.
Straight, rotated, straight, it will be, of course, very tight. Hopefully they had, they were going to be maybe in this position anyway, be in the very first car, to be in, well, the first pair. Not too much difference as far as,
I believe it still has oil in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
33 years in the garage corner.
Tell a story. Good. Getting into position here. We are going to start by whipping the intake Valve covers are already loose. We're gonna whip the intake off of this thing. See how things look underneath. Get a wrench. All right, we're gonna shot back that intake because we don't want whatever debris is in there to get into the engine. I can't help myself. Clean is good, as Guy Mitchell would say. Okay. Let's pull this intake off. Try to. Yeah. Nothing but the proper tools. Good thing I can edit stuff out. Yeah, one bolt left. Something tells me this is just going to pop right off now. Crusty General Motors original bolts. Yep. That's weird. Popped right off. Oh yeah. Look at the tiny ports. Walnuts and sunflower seeds. Rodent activity in the small block Chevy. Can you imagine that? Yep, we're gonna need to vacuum the ports out too. Look at that. All right, hang on to your ears for a second. All right, let's take another look. Yeah, not bad. Okay, the molasses that was once oil has kind of slowed down. So we'll spin this thing around. It's time to get the heads off. see what we got. We are looking for how much ridge is in this thing. And there's going to be some digging just to get to the head bolts, because there's some sludge in here. So this will be high drama when we finally get the heads peeled off of this thing. Fortunately, you're not going to have to stay for the whole thing. It's going to go fast. Trust me. Here we go. Okay, moment of truth. I think I got these things. Okay, I thought I had these things loosened up. Maybe not. And have no fear. This engine will get the full machine shop treatment. Oh yeah, those head gaskets came off rough. Okay, you're seeing it the same time I'm seeing it. Wow, this head gasket's super sticky. Been on there a long time. Oh boy. Yep, there's a ridge. So I'll show you in here. If you can grab it with your fingernail, it's usually too much. I mean, I'm no machinist, but there is a little bit of a ridge, and my expert opinion says 5 thousandths, 8 thousandths. We'll have to see what the actual experts say about that. But so far so good. No real drama. I mean, it's got all the pistons on this side, nothing hanging out of it. Looks like it'll work. So we'll get the other side off, see what we got. Okay, we'll call it side B. This would be the 2468 side of our small block Chevy. I did get it. Maneuver this a little bit. I did get it a little bit loosened up. Pull the bolts out, and we'll battle this thing off of here. It's coming with us. Not sure what I'll do with these. Of course, last bolt wants to fight me. Not sure what I'll do with these heads. See how they look. Wow, really? Come on. Awesome. Fight me. So there's sealants on this bolt. pretty sure that's what's fouling. It doesn't want to come out. It's out far enough. Let's see if we can get this off of here. Yep. Wow, another super sticky head gasket. That's amazing. Coming with us, it's off. So, no surprise. Yeah, there was a mouse in this vicinity. Anyway, a little bit of ridge. It's really not that bad. It's definitely not a hone and go, to coin a phrase from George Burns. It's going to be torn down. We'll get to the bottom end. We'll take you with us. Stick around. See what the rest of it looks like. Is it a 2-bolt main? Is it a 4-bolt main? I don't know. Okay, that's probably good that that fits tight. That wrench won't fall off the ground. Let's roll this thing over. We're gonna make a huge mess because eventually that molasses oil, it's gonna flow downhill. And it's gonna make a mess on the floor. But, oh, we still have head gaskets. But, it's getting late. I wanna know if this thing is a 2-bolt main or 4-bolt main. So let's whip that pan off and find out, shall we? Stand by. Well, a cardinal sin was committed during the pan removal process.
Yeah, what was that?
No, I'm telling the camera.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, wow. That didn't come off with any effort.
Hey.
No, I spilled a beer. My beer fell off the oil pan, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So that's my bad. All right, 2-bolt main, 4-bolt main. What is it? 2-bolt main. All right. I remember hearing 100 years ago that for a 400 small block, a 2-bolt main was actually better than a 4-bolt main. I'm going to go with that. Something about the Siamese cylinders, whatever. Who cares? We're going to build it and we're going to run it. Look at that sludgy oil pan. Got the cobwebs in there too. Yep, small block Chevy. Nothing obvious right up front. Nothing obvious right off the bat as far as what would be causing a knock, but that doesn't surprise me. We'll dig into it. Oh. Spoke too soon. Yeah, there's a rod that feels a little unhappy. So, yep. But it's all in one piece. So, who knows? A crank kit, maybe a rotating assembly. Who knows how big this thing will be when it goes back together. The big reveal.
How do I always get stuck doing this?
It's the knock. The 400.
Where's the bearing go?
Well,
Where did who go?
there's one on the crank. Are you knocking it just down to the ridge?
Well, I've never seen that before. It's like the bearing welded itself together. That's cool.
Well, you've never worked on a top alcohol funny car.
There it is. I got it.
You never worked on anything with ran on methanol.
I'll have it. We're ready for next round. We'll get it.
Yep.
We'll get it.
Calm move.
It's not horrible.
The crank?
Yeah.
Emery, what? Emery cloth
No,
and...
I mean turn.
Oh,
but
okay.
I've seen worse.
Very spin.
No,
No, it didn't.
it just
Thanks for helping.
it just didn't.
Gonna have to put some music over all the commentary here. Look at the side of that. Look at the side of that piston. This thing's barely worn.
It's brand new.
Brand new, essentially.
It's essentially new.
Yeah.
Here, where's that? Where's one of those little handles? Orange. And the Tito hammer.
The Cheeto hammer.
There's the Cheeto hammer.
Don't worry.
Oh, get the big one.
I have more to choose from.
Now they got the claw.
The White Claw.
That's how it sounded before we shut it off.
No laws with the claw.
Where's that number 8 bearing?
Gone. Oh, the wide one?
That's it.
Hold on. Let me compare the width.
It's charming.
That one's wide.
There's the difference in the width right there. 1/8 of an inch. Look at that.
Yeah. Kind of smushed.
But it's funny. Feel the crank.
Smooth.
It's not bad.
Savable.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. The old CarQuest filter. We're gonna cut this thing open. We're gonna see what the media, what the filter media looks like. Oh, of course. Yeah, these are the issues you have on the set. Anyway, we're gonna see what this thing looks like. We know this thing was knocking. At this point, we know the number 8 rod bearing was smoked. So we're gonna see what the media looks like. Nice. The Longacre oil filter cutting tool works like a champ. Perfect. Yeah, it's good. Man, is this oil black in this thing. That is amazing. Okay, so that spring's in the bottom and it's not moving. Yeah, it's because it's stuck in the oil. The sludge. Anyway, I don't think it's so much that the oil wasn't changed regularly. I think it's that the oil was used and it's 32 plus years old. So let's cut this filter apart though and see how things look. Okay. Giving some of the play-by-play here. Got little utility knife. Got the filter. We've wiped off some of the really old kind of sticky oil. And we're going to cut this thing, cutting the paper media so it peels out of here. It's not a clean job, it's a messy job. So peel the really old paper element out of there. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So there's 2/3 of the filter. Yeah, and you look at it, whoops. You look at it and it's clean. I mean, I'm not seeing any bearing material, not seeing a bunch of chunks or anything in there. It's fine. So that old 400 is really not in that bad a shape. So the reason the guy pulled it out is it was knocking a little bit, and it does have, as we know now, does have a bad bearing. Number 8 bearing's bad, but that's not a bad little small block. So I think we're solid. we're gonna run this thing. We're gonna put it back together. We're gonna rebuild it, freshen it up. It's gonna run again. Cheers.